Welcome back to episode 4 of Threebie Thursdays, where I bring you tips and tricks I wish I knew sooner. Objects around your house are your best friend. Stop spending the money. Stop buying everything you think you need because all the other creators have it. For the meantime, everything around your house will do. My favorite thing to use is a blanket. I film in my kitchen and the windows have no blinds. So to fix that and to get rid of any competing lights, like I explained in last week's video, I take a blanket, I put it up on the window, open it up a little bit, and close it on the blanket. Hides the light perfectly, and it also serves as a perfect background. Blankets can be used to be hung up if you don't have a backdrop, if you have like a plain black blanket or a plain gray blanket, and you just want something different besides like your wall. You can always hang up a blanket, and it does the trick of having a backdrop for free, which was already in your house. Just make sure it's not like crazy and fluffy and what have you. Anyways, blankets, your best friend. Number 2, wallets and books. This video is being filmed on a stack of books because my tripod broke. So since I'm sitting here in front of a camera with no tripod, I needed to raise it up slightly. I put 3 huge books underneath it, and it did the trick perfectly. I made sure everything was balanced. I made sure you could see everything in my shot that I wanted. And simply 3 books does the trick. I've also noticed that it's very helpful when I need to raise the camera slightly. I want it a little bit off of the table level, but I don't want to use a tripod because, the legs, like they go up pretty high, even when they're fully closed. I just want something low to the ground. I'll take a book or 2, put it underneath the camera, and it lifts it just enough to make my shot look the way I want it. So books are often used when I'm filming because a lot of the times my shots are kind of low to the ground, to the surface, and I just want to have it a little bit raised so it's more eye level to the product. And then wallets come in handy, or lids to candles come in handy when you're filming vertical and it's a little bit lopsided. The camera lens kind of tilts down a little bit, but you want it to be an even surface. You just slip it underneath the camera lens and it gives you the flat surface as if you filmed it horizontal. I do have to explain, my wallet is not an ordinary girl wallet. It is like the little tiny skinny wallets that I use so I can easily slip it into a friend's pocket if I need and not hold it myself. But the wallet is just like about this thick, so it kind of levels it out perfectly. You don't want something too thick, obviously, because then it'll be too high on the lens. But anything that you find that is a thin object will easily raise your camera lens if you don't want to go up as high as a tripod. And going into tip number 3, your kitchen also has awesome objects you can use. Sometimes I've needed to use a strainer. I have 2 types of strainers. One where it's like thin netting, so it kind of helps diffuse my light and just kind of gives it like a cool glare if I move it across the light. But I can also use a strainer that has a bunch of holes in it if I want a shot where it looks like light is coming in diffused through little holes that you kind of see in movies. It just offers you different effects to your lighting. It offers different effects to naturally portray an object in light without having to use effects in without having to worry about downloading effects or getting cool light rays to come through. In post-editing, you'll be able to do it organically with a kitchen strainer. There are a lot of other objects around my house that I personally use. Those were just the top 3 that I found I use quite often. So we're going to take this to a wrap. Thank you so much for joining me for Threebie Thursdays. I will see you next week.